I want to talk about something that I saw, which was really sad. It was really, really sad, guys. Like, I was really upset when I saw that. I thought, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And it was a company called Grassfields. And this company is owned by and founded by two, what would you call them? Cameroonian British women. And they had, I guess, manufacturers in Cameroon and Nigeria, and they created African traditional wear. Yeah, they created African traditional wear for us to wear. So, like, imagine this, but in African print. Yeah. And they've been doing this for a very long time. I've bought a few things from them. Unfortunately, a scandal's kind of broken out. And I thought to talk about it because I'm a business owner. I understand the needs of businesses. And I just think as somebody who does support black businesses and as somebody who somewhat watched their journey, I thought, let me talk about this and find out what people think about what's going on and, people's thoughts and feelings. So I am going to share a video because this video is a plea. One of the founders is pleading to the black community. Now, what's really interesting is that last year, this same woman that you're going to see essentially informed the public that Grassfield was closing because her sister had cancer. And not only did she have cancer, it was of such a severity, such a what would you call it? Not only severity, like it was basically really big, really heavy. So they got to close it down because can you imagine running a business with your sister and your sister is actually potentially going to die? It's just a bit much, right? A bit much. So I thought it was closing down. In all intents and purposes, it closed down. That's what I thought. And then literally about a month ago, I was like, oh, is it back on? I ordered something. I actually ordered an African ready-made outfit. And then today I go on social media and I'm like, what happened? What here happened? So let me show you this first, right?
If you're a black person right now, please listen. I need your help, please. It's been 5 days now. I've not been able to sleep. I can't sleep. And what is the most painful thing is that my sister and I, who founded Grassfields, have been taken away from, our company has been taken away from us. And during all this process, these 5 days, they have just been ignoring us. They have sent us letters, legal documents, trying to silence us in not talking. And they keep posting on our Instagram page. I'm talking about the investors that we went into business with. Like, nothing has happened. They hijacked our emails, our company emails, even my personal email. They went into my personal email, my Instagram. And they have done so many unlawful things during this whole process. And I'm saying that if they have the audacity to do this, they've done it before.
So that's an emotional plea to help. And, when I saw that, I was sad. I was saddened by that. But I want to show you what the new management have said. So essentially, from what I gather, is last year sister was unwell, so they decided to close down. Allegedly, they owed suppliers models. They owed a lot of people money, about 2 point something million. So they went into administration and they got bought out. I think by the investors, because I think at one point in their journey they got foreign investment. I say foreign, I mean like probably non-black investment, white investment. So they got bought out, and then what is said is that they got rehired, and then through an investigation, they basically feel that certain things that should not have happened occurred. So let's just read it. Let me read it. To dear customers and friends, we hope you are keeping well. It is with huge regret and sadness that we have been driven to write to you after a number of defamatory and malicious statements were published on social media about Grassfields. In light of this, it is important that we bring certain matters to your attention that you may not be aware of, and we have reported the matter to the police, supposedly. Because someone, yeah, because people are writing comments and say, I bet you it's true. When you're like, we don't know unless we see the police file. We don't know if it's been reported to the police. In September 2022, the current management team saved Grassfields from extinction by buying it out of administration after its co-founders and sisters, Christelle and Michelle Naganhu, ran the business into the ground. The company owed suppliers, staff, and customers over 2.2 million, despite the sisters making even more than that in revenue, resulting in huge personal gains to them. This, of course, had a huge effect on you, our customers, some of who didn't receive the products they ordered and didn't receive refunds, and staff who weren't paid for months. Now, that has been shown to be true. A lot of people in the comments are actually saying, yep, they ordered, they didn't receive the products, they haven't received the refund, etc., etc. There has been excuses, like when you're asking, why is my refund not issued? There's been excuses from, I guess, them. We're also proud to be investing in local manufacturing in Nigeria, where some manufacturers had refused to work with the company under the sisters' management due to not being paid. Noting that Christelle and Michelle have been sharing significant misinformation already, we are driven to set the record straight with you. We have been made aware of defamatory and malicious statements being made about Grassfields by Christelle and Michelle and some of the models who have worked for them. Okay, because some of the models have reposted the video. Additionally, information has come to light recently which leads us to believe that Christelle and Michelle had been diverting funds owed to Grassfields for their own benefit. Failed to pay their team, suppliers, and lenders. Continue to charge customers for products that they had no intention of dispatching whilst ignoring refund requests. So with that, somebody said that when they closed in September, people were still ordering. So technically speaking, you're meant to be closed, so I should not be able to order. And they did not get their order, but the money was taken. Spent a large portion of the company's fund in a personal capacity, which ultimately led to the company becoming insolvent. We are in the process of preparing to issue an application at the High Court for an injunction to immediately restrain the founders' further unlawful activity in order to protect the business and its customers. Some of the above behaviours amounts to criminal conduct in the UK, and unfortunately, we have had to pass the information to the police and are cooperating fully with investigations. It's so damning though. Like, we don't know what's true or not, right? Tell me what you think, if it's true or not. But it's so damning. And honestly, it pains me because unless you choose to sell your business fully, you want to, what they call it, payout, right? Some people have an exit plan. They want to sell their business. When your business is bought from you, and I get that if this is the situation, if this occurred, fair enough. But imagine creating something. It's like, you know what? It's really like having your child and going for adoption. And yeah, maybe it's your fault as a mother, as a father, you did not look after the child properly. But I can just imagine that idea of like somebody saying that I'm taking your child from you and you're not having your child. I don't think you're a fit parent. Just painful. The new management team purchased the business out of administration. Christelle and Michelle were given opportunity to contribute to the business. The hope was that we could work together to rebuild the business. With this hope in mind, both Christelle and Michelle were rehired. In light of the above misconduct coming to light, we were left with no choice but to dismiss Christelle and Michelle from their roles with Grassfields last week. This was an extremely difficult decision to make, even given the relationship you, our customers, supporters, and friends have built with Christelle and Michelle. Given the fact that they were the co-founders, they were the founders. I know you brought it out, but they were the founders. Anyways, like, it was a black business. Now it's not a black business. Like, anyways, since their departure, due to the unfortunate suspected criminal conduct, Christelle and Michelle have improperly obtained and refused to return access or ownership to Grassfield's TikTok, Pinterest, and Africa accounts. They have threatened to use these social media accounts to spread further defamatory and malicious statements unless certain unreasonable demands, including financial demands, are met. The new management team will not be engaging with these improper and unlawful demands. We should say that since Grassfield's new management team, this is a long thing, rescued the brand out of insolvency, we have rehired staff who previously lost their jobs, increased the workforce by 40%, invested in new infrastructure, honored all historical refunds and returns. Should you have anyways, okay, cool. You can see this, you can see that, you can see this, you can see that. Woo! Who's to say what's true? Who is to say what is true? Let me show you another thing, right? Because They are saying it's been stolen from them. Now, that probably is highly inaccurate because it was bought. Let's be honest, it was bought. But maybe what they mean that it's been stolen from them is being kicked out. The idea that even though it was bought for whatever reason, because they are saying the reasons are this, um, Christine does not say why. She has not yet said why. Yeah, I'm showing you what you can find. If you want to find out about a company, right? Find out here. You can just go here. Every single person in the UK, maybe even America, can go here. We can find out. So what I'm slightly confused is who are these people? Why is the people not the new management not here? Why are they not on company's house? She's still on company's house. I don't really understand. This shows it was insolvency. Administration started 7th October 2022. So we can really see, if we wanted to look, right, administrative proposals, this was bought. We can really begin to see, let's see how much they've been making. Can we see their accounts? Look, I'm not trying to tell you what this means, but I'm just showing you, right? So we do need to do some due diligence to find out what is going on and what is true. Now, it's interesting that on the website, they never once mentioned the cancer. Because part of me feels like, wouldn't they say that, right? Wouldn't you talk about the fact that the sister had cancer? Because part of me thinks if this is true or somewhat true, maybe they were spending it on getting treatment. Because sometimes, people, NHS does what it does, but you might want to get specialist treatment. If NHS are telling you that there is no hope, or you got to go through chemotherapy or radiotherapy, maybe you're like, look, mate, I'm going to find the top doctor in America and Canada and whoever in Switzerland who's going to treat me, and obviously maybe go privately. So I'm just wondering, maybe they spent it on that. They won't spend. You shouldn't be doing that, but it was like a life and death situation. I'm just saying that we don't know what the situation is. All we know is that this woman begged the Black community for lawyers. Now, somebody said something quite true. Why would you be begging for Black lawyers? Wouldn't you have a lawyer that helps you in administration? I get that some people do things differently, but wouldn't that lawyer be able to recommend you a lawyer? I don't know, because you would ask them for a lawyer. It would probably be just, couldn't you support me? I don't know. You do wonder about these things. So I think somebody said something smart. Let me read to you a thread that my publicist said. For those talking about Grassfields, please do your research. Public docs show the company went into administration on 21st of December 2022. From what I can see, no investors stole the company. This is illegal. Let's be careful before we start crusade without the full facts. That is true. She said that it's been stolen, but it hasn't been stolen. It actually was, what's the word? Bought out. They were bought out. They were bought out. Maybe what she means by stolen. No, she's emotional. See, when you're emotional, you say things. So she's not going to say the right words. And English isn't probably her first language. So when you're emotional, English isn't your first language. You start saying things like, they stole from me. No, they bought it out. But what's happened is that now they've kicked you out. That's the bit you're trying to say, but you're emotional. You're not thinking straight. Also, I'm not trying to throw shade at the sisters or anyone else, but read the facts before jumping on crusades. Very sad all around. Final point for now. If you look at the paperwork, the company was deemed insolvent in September 2022. True. Yet continue to sell the same Black people they are appealing to now to get the company back. So what I said, people were still able to buy things, and the company was insolvent in September 2022. Should have told the truth in September. So I do agree with that, because what I knew was it's closing down because the one sister is sick. Cool. No, we didn't know that that also part of the whole thing is money, and they ain't got no money. Money ain't there. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to say is this, because I would love to speak to her. And maybe by God's grace, you guys will see me doing an interview with her and just find out, because we'll never know the truth unless they do an investigation and goes to court and we get the court documents to see what goes on, right? But one of the things that I think is quite interesting, it just shows us that how we have to be diligent when we have a business. You see how this can occur, right? How this can occur. You can create something, maybe you don't handle it properly, you have investors, and then things go wrong, and then you get bought out, and your own company, what you did with your blood, sweat, and tears. Now, let me say this to the sisters. Honestly, if you can create Grassfield, you can do it again. I say it though, it ain't easy, but that is the belief you have to have. If you can create Grassfields, you can do it again. You can bounce back from this. Like, if this isn't true, if all this isn't true, allegedly, wow, the level of attacks you women are going through, from cancer to this, my God, your level of resilience is extraordinary. All I will have to say to that is I'm going to be praying for you, because maybe you did do what they're saying you did. Maybe you did, and maybe you realized that you shouldn't have done it, but you want help now. You want a second chance. Who knows? All I can say to you, girl, is go into your prayer closet. Because if you did not do what they're accusing you to do, there is a God. There is the God that is above the cosmic entity, above the world, that says it in the Bible that he is our vindicator. Yeah. I will share something at another time, but I went through a 1-year trial myself. It wasn't a court, but I went through something, and we were vindicated this month, shall I say, a whole year and a bit process, and we were vindicated. When I say we, my company was vindicated, because I knew I did not do well. I did not do what we were being accused of doing, even though the issue really wasn't with me, it was with someone in my company, a counselor in my company. But because the counselor was in my company, we had to defend. Now, I'll talk about that another time. But the point is that all I had was the prayer in my closet, my team. And when I got that letter, 3-4 page letter, basically saying that we were justified, we were vindicated, that basically this accusation warrants nothing, I was like, there's a God on this earth that knows my name. So that's all I want to give you, Christine. Stay encouraged. I don't know what is true, what is not. We're gonna find out. I would say let's support her if we can, but let's not be too quick to say they're a liar, they're not a liar, because we don't really know. And also, just do a bit of due diligence. If you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, you can read through this and understand it and make. I don't know what it means, but you can. Let us know, Wagwan. Just have a little bit of critical thinking, guys. I know we want to support Black businesses, but sometimes we don't do the best, and this might be the consequence of our actions, and it's terrible. But yeah,